Hi everyone, Colleen Patrick-Goudreau from joyfulvegan.com. Welcome to Vegan POV. Some people experience a certain amount of shock that vegans don't eat turkeys on Thanksgiving or lambs at Christmas time or eggs during Passover and Easter. At best, non-vegans may express pity for those not partaking in the standards. At worst, they may accuse vegans of flying in the face of tradition, of committing cultural blasphemy. That's one point of view. Here's my point of view. The implication is that we can't eat in such a way that reflects our values of compassion and honors tradition at the same time, as if these two things are mutually exclusive. The bottom line is our holiday foods and rituals, they're often symbols for something much deeper. In being attached to the form, turkeys at Thanksgiving, eggs at Easter time, we risk losing the true meaning of whatever it is that we're celebrating or honoring. But if we uncover the meanings of these symbols, we find that a plant-based menu better reflects the values and significance of these holidays. Take the Easter egg. The eggs I hard-boiled and colored as a child represented something much deeper. Eggs are the perfect embodiment of the hope that after death comes life, that after winter comes spring, and that after despair comes hope itself. And that's the point. The egg is the symbol of these ideas, but we've come to put so much weight on the symbol rather than on its meaning. And for the hens whose reproductive cycles are exploited for this symbol, there is no life, there is no hope. In other words, in being attached to the form, we have completely lost sight of the meaning of what's behind it. We've completely lost sight of reality. Because in reality, the chicken's eggs we've come to romanticize, especially around Easter time, the chicken's eggs that come from battery cage hens embody the opposite of what we want them to represent. In fact, they're actually the embodiment of suffering and intensive confinement and exploitation and use and death. Individual Americans consume about 250 chicken's eggs every year. And to keep sales up, to keep this consumption steady, the egg industry currently confines over 290 million hens, with ad campaigns romantically touting the nutritional benefits of what the egg industry calls nature's perfect food. Egg consumption is on the rise. Labels such as organic, free range, cage-free are effective marketing terms, but they mean very little to the birds themselves. Like all females, including humans, the reproductive cycles of hens slow down over time, and eventually hens, like humans, stop producing eggs. No longer valuable to the egg industry, all unproductive hens are sold to the meat industry and are killed to be used for lower grade products such as canned super frozen pot pies. I had no idea when I was eating eggs that this was the case, and when I was vegetarian and still eating eggs, I sought out eggs that were called free range or cage free or humane. The problem is most birds in operations labeled humane are still confined and crowded indoors. Many are debeaked, and most come from the same hatcheries that kill over 250 million newly hatched male chicks each year. That makes horror movies look like romantic comedies. Now, I talk more about eggs in a way that's truthful but palatable in a couple other vegan POV videos, but in a nutshell, males are killed upon birth because their bodies don't produce eggs. They're boys. It doesn't make economic sense to feed animals who will not produce anything in return. This is a business. They're not kept and raised for meat because through selective breeding, egg-laying breeds are created for the purpose of high egg production, not fast flesh growth that's valued in the meat industry. Male chicks are ground up alive and used as fertilizer. They're used as food for other livestock, and they're used as filler for dog and cat food. This is all very different from what we envision the spring holiday to be about, but we can still experience the meaning of this holiday without compromising our values. We can still use the egg as a symbol for life and birth and hope, but we can use wooden eggs or ceramic eggs or paper mache eggs that we can cherish every year and used as decoration, or we can fill plastic eggs with treats and then hide them at Easter egg hunts. The plastic eggs can be reused again every year. There's no waste and there's no suffering. When I reflect on the Easter egg hunts, I loved as a child. It wasn't the eggs themselves that made me so excited as much as it was a community event with friends and family, and all the children were tasked with a quest to find what was hidden just for us. That excitement isn't lessened because the animal products aren't used. A more authentic and consistent and compassionate symbol for spring would be a flower bulb or a vegetable seed or a tree. In fact, they're even more than just symbols in that they really do hold and deliver the promise of a flower or vegetables or leaves or fruit. What better way for our children to understand the processes of nature, that with tenderness and attention and water, there's a beautiful and even edible outcome. We can celebrate the foods of the season and create a menu around just all the spring vegetables, arugula and asparagus and basil and broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower and carrots and corn and fava beans and green onions and leeks and lemons and lettuce and limes and mint and nettles and new potatoes and parsnips and pea greens and peppers and radicchio, spinach, spring greens and watercress. That always reminds me of that song in Into the Woods. You ever see that? When the witch comes in and she says, greens, greens, nothing but greens, parsley, peppers, cabbages, and celery, asparagus, and watercress, and fiddle ferns, and lettuce. Nothing? Nobody? Nothing? Okay. What better way to celebrate a holiday that's centered on life and birth and hope than to use symbols that don't merely convey life and birth and hope, but that actually are products of life and birth and hope, i.e. plants. To center our holiday meals on foods that give life rather than take life is in keeping with the values we hold and the ideals we're celebrating. With a little creativity and a lot of sensitivity, we'll find that we can adhere to the traditions we care about while honoring our values. We need not sacrifice one for the other. That's my vegan point of view. If you like what you heard today, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on, share it with others. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so you'll be the first to hear about more videos. Leave your comments below, and of course you can support these messages by clicking on the support link below or going to joyfulvegan.com, where you'll find lots of information about living healthfully and compassionately. For the animals, this is Colleen Patrick-Goudreau. Thanks for watching.